Okay, hello everyone. It's not even 6 o'clock. I don't know, maybe it is 6 o'clock. Is it 6 o'clock in the morning? Probably is about 6. I've been doing some work lately, and I'm going to tell you what I do, what I have been doing lately, but I have to make a new word. Ichtyo, I-C-H-T-H-Y, Ichtyo is fish. Ichthyography is the study of fish. Ichtyofillagree, F-I-L-L, how do you spell filigree? I-G-R-E. Ichtyofillagree. I was at a restaurant and I'm always doodling on the paper placemats, and after I was sat at the table and had 3 minutes and a pen in my hand, the paper placemat was covered in swirls and swags and swishes. And speaking of swishes, and the waiter came back for my drink order and he shrieked. I think shriek is the only word to describe what he did. Is that Ichtyocafillagree? Pointing to my calligraphic stuff. And I said, yes, that's exactly what it is. Ichtyocafillagree. And because that's what it should be called, not calligraphy, but Ichtyocafillagree. So Ichtyocafillagree. I have to put a K in here. Ichtyocafillagree. Ichtyocafillagree is to draw a fish in a calligraphic manner. And I've been doing that for the last few days. And some of them are more calligraphic than others. And I've been using this Jack Webb pen that I have coined because of its just the fax ma'am aspect to it, though I have taken out the Jack Webb nib and put in a nib that's slightly thinner, and it's just such a difference. It's so much more pleasant to write with or draw with than the original Jack Webb nib. And so here's how I do my Ichtyocafillagree work, Ichthyocafillographic work. I don't know what's going on top of that fish head there. That's scribble. He's having a thought. That's his brain. He's large-brained. And what I've been doing, anyway, sometimes I draw with lots of straight lines. Sometimes I do both. Sometimes I emphasize the tail. Sometimes it's the head. And here's some of the examples that I've done. And I'm drawing on Benjamin Moore paint swatches. And sometimes the paint surface of silk-screened ink of whatever type it is resistant to the ink, and sometimes it absorbs the ink in a normal way that paper would do that. And sometimes it takes a long time to dry, so I can then later go in with my water. Like this one, the ink beaded up. You can sort of see the little puddles of ink. So this one took forever to dry. This is another one that had beading up activity happen. So they're all very different. Some are angular, some are more rounded. Some are... Anyway, this is fun. Now, why am I doing this, you're asking? Here I had to smush with my fingers because it wasn't working at all, and I had to... This is a messy fish. This is kind of a delicate one. It's a little checkerboard pattern. Why am I doing this, you ask? When I have actual jobs that I have to do? Well, I'm doing this because this is making me smile. And I'm doing this because it's a thank you note, sort of, to the gallery that's in my building. I'm donating these to the gallery, and they're for sale for a donation of $10 each by my residents. Or you. All of you people could buy them if you want to as well. I've sold some to people I've never met before through the mail. So if you guys want this, you can as well. And I will donate some of those proceeds to the gallery. Because I have to buy envelopes and stamps and do extra work, I'm going to charge a little bit for handling, and which I think is only fair because I don't want to lose money trying to give money to the gallery. I want your money to go to the gallery. The gallery, like many businesses in Massachusetts, it's closed to the public, and we do have, and it's been closed to the public for a long time. And not that the general public comes to the gallery very much, because we're sort of off the beaten track. But there are some sales, and the sales help the gallery pay its bills. So I'm doing what I can as sort of a thank you, and I think I probably sold a couple $100 worth of these things so far to people in my building. So why does this fish look like this? Why did this one turn out like this and the other ones turn out the other way? I don't know. I'm not on this ichthyocafillographic study. It's the emphasis is on the phylographic rather than the ichthy part. Sometimes I do look at actual fish illustrations or photographs of fish to be inspired in a certain way, but other times I just let my mind wander. Oh, I'll give him some teeth. There we go. He has an overbite. He or she has an overbite. I have been using this reference book that does have words accompanying the pictures, and I have been, out of character, I have been actually trying to read some of those words. And I learned maybe a factoid that may or may not stick with me for longer than it takes me to finish the sentence, but sometimes I learn something. Fishes, like any set of animals or plants, have evolved in so many different ways for their specialized niche that they live in. And so some have big tails, some have little tails, some are brightly colored, others are green and mud colored to match the mud. And I imagine that there's a reason why tropical fish are so brightly colored, because they don't have to worry about being eaten when this neon colored thing comes by, but that can't be right, because there has to be something that eats these brightly colored, easy to spot fish. But that's what's in those little words that are in that book that I don't bother to read. This fish looks like it's made of erector set pieces. So this nib, I don't know if you've been watching how I've been drawing, but when I draw, sometimes, I draw like this, sometimes I draw like this, where the pen is way out of the way. The nib is way forward of where my fingers are, which is kind of fun. Oh, see, now this ink just beads up on the paper. This, when I add the water, it beads up. So it's going to have a very different look from the one that I just did. But that's okay. No two alike. I don't know if you can hear that. We have trains, planes, and automobiles. We have construction work going on. And anyway, that's what's going on in the background. Now, when this dries, I might go back and add more water, and that'll dissolve what's here already a little bit and create a different sort of look. Let's see, where did I do that on some of these? Over here. Now, so right here, I drew these lines going down, and then I drew these lines going this way with the water, and then that dissolved the first two lines. And I did that here as well. So I get this interesting effect. Let's see if I can do it here. Let's zoom in. You can see. I may not have let this dry fast enough, but you see it's kind of a neat effect. Yeah, I should have let it dry a little bit more, but that's okay. I guess you can't see what I'm doing, can you? Ichtyocafillagree. Ichtyocafillagree. And it doesn't have to be ichtyo. You can pick a different subject. Could be architecture. What would that be? Ichtyocafillagree. I'm going to be drawing buildings in the South End on Sunday, unless it's too hot, and I may bring paper like this, unless I use it all up with my fishes, to draw buildings this way. And again, I'm really having fun with this medium right now. It's just, what I like about it isn't so much the effect that you get, which I do like, but I like the idea that I don't really know what's going to happen until I put the pen on the paper, because the surfaces are so different. And I like that surprise. Ichtyocafillagree.